Yan. Hello mga Momshies, good evening po sa inyong lahat. So, we're live and we're going to have a web workshop on solving your lockdown problems, innovating your way to surviving the COVID-19 pandemic by Carlo Valencia, our facilitator for tonight. So, for tonight, we will be using Mural. It's a platform used by remote teams, by design thinking na mga facilitators in order for them na makapag-brainstorm online. And by doing this, we relate it to our current situation, which is the COVID-19 nga na community quarantine that is happening right now here sa Philippines, particularly here in Metro Manila. So I'd like to introduce our facilitator. We also have Mami Christine. So kilala niya naman na si Mami Christine. Mami Christine is our trainer for general virtual assistance. And then Carlo here. So yan, i-up ko na sila. So we have here Carlo. Hi Carlo. Ayan. So let me just
Hello.
introduce you briefly, and then of course we have Christine here. And so Carlo P. Valencia is an educator, a founder, and an advocate of innovation. Before the pandemic, he used to run corporate training, public workshops, and speaking engagements. So for sure, marami rin sa inyo dyan na makaka-relate. Maybe some of you are former corporate trainers or public workshop na mga trainers din, no? And of course, Christine here is also a trainer for Fhmoms. So now all of that has been put on indefinite hold. All of us naman din because of the pandemic nga. It's not the first time Carlo has been in a life-altering crisis though. From losing his mother, losing work, almost becoming homeless, raising 1 million pesos for his wife's operations, and losing millions in a failed startup, he has achieved much and failed just as much. Yet he has somehow always found a way to survive and credits his wife, family, and friends and an eternal learner's mindset, equal parts grit and stubbornness, and a whole lot more luck and serendipity to surviving all of those. He is approaching this pandemic like all the past crisis in his life, and in combination with the innovation philosophies that he teaches, design thinking, lean, and agile.
Agile.
Okay, agile. To help with the pandemic, he is creating free programs to help individuals find personal solutions to this crisis. To help to sustain himself, he hopes to get work from organizations that need to rapidly transform their products, services, and processes using the same framework. So which is yung design thinking nga. In all his content, advocates begin by understanding fail fast, often, and forward mindset to all of his students. He is a student of mindfulness and practices gratitude and radical transparency in all that he does. So, ayan, thank you so much, Carlo, for accepting this invitation to speak and to conduct this web workshop. No, so I know na this is your first time to conduct like a web workshop na ginawa online.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
we've
go ahead.
we've done yung mga webinars na I essentially read a deck and then ask
Right.
questions and the end konting Q&A. But what I want to do and what we're doing for the first time is we're actually interacting with the participants.
Right, right. So, sa mga viewers natin, feel free to participate. For now, what you can do is, mabibigyan ba natin sila ng access with the tool or not? Tayo-tayo lang muna, right?
Pwede sila mag-view.
Right. Pwede kayo mag-view.
Actually, or pwede sila mag-edit. We can set it na pwede sila mag-edit. And then, hindi pa naman to, kung sample run pa lang naman to. So, okay lang kung, and, everybody's watching in tawag dito, kumbaga, wants to do good. So, okay lang yan.
Also pala, Carlo, before you start,
mhm.
yung introduction ko kasi sa'yo, I believe, hindi pa lahat yon. But can you tell us about design thinking or the workshops you've done, yung physical before the pandemic or before the community
Sure.
quarantine happened, no? Just to give us idea lang how it works.
Sige, so where do I start? Let me start by focusing on paying attention to what I'm doing. Um, so I started as a startup founder. Like that's my path to entrepreneurship at around 39, I think. Like start ako ng startup. To make a long story short, raised funds and then lost all that money without making money. So that's like my grand failure. And then later on, people ask me, ano ba nangyari? Paano mo nagawa yun? Right? Or Carlo, tulungan mo ako mag-fundraise. And then when I meet with them, a lot of the founders that I meet, parang I find myself saying the same thing, which is you need to focus on the people and the problems that you're solving for them. It's not about your idea, it's not about your solution. You need to focus on problems. So
Mm-hmm.
parang paulit-ulit ko siyang nasasabi. So naisip ko na, pwede ko tong gawin training or pwede ko tong gawing workshop.
Right.
And that's where I started. And then eventually I moved to design thinking and then offering corporate training. Essentially, corporate training around innovation and entrepreneurship around startups. They have the same frameworks, the same fundamentals, which is solve problems, help people and solve problems, and then through that, aangat tayong lahat. Parang yun yung grand
Right.
philosophy.
Right.
Um, in corporate, nagagawa nila sila, mas madami sila nagagawa kasi madaming pera.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it's the same problem, which is, madaming or sorry, a lot of people go like, oh, I have an idea. And then they start building on the idea and then they start, just building and building and building without really thinking about the customers.
Mm-hmm.
So that
Mm-hmm.
happens in big corporate, that happens in startups as well. And that's essentially how I got started teaching design thinking, teaching sa corporate, yun yung bread and butter namin. Doon talaga kumikita. Pero yung advocacy, and because nanggaling ako sa startup, is really with the entrepreneurship education.
Right. Right.
Um, so now that with the quarantine, actually, I had about 6 workshops scheduled na ngayon hindi na matutuloy. So naisip ko, marami akong oras. Kailangan ko na matuto ng remote
Online na.
workshops.
Right. Right.
Oo. And so
So
here we are now.
you talk about the benefits of design thinking to startups, to entrepreneurs, no, and now we're
Mhm.
gonna talk about personal design thinking, which is pretty interesting because it will benefit not just our mommy members but also the freelancers who works from home. They are still considered as entrepreneurs na rin naman. So interesting to know na pwede rin pala to uh for my personal plans maybe. So yeah,
Yeah,
sige,
yeah,
I'm
kasi
super
it's
excited.
the fundamentals are the same. Begin by understanding. That's the first
Mhm.
part, and then the second part is fail fast, often, and forward. So that's what we're going to do today: is begin by understanding, and then we're going to try something, and if it fails, okay lang, we'll try something
Mhm.
else, but we'll do it right away. We'll move
Right.
forward,
Mhm.
and that's what's important. All right, cool. So, shall we start?
Yes.
Sige, I sent you the link which you can share with everybody else if they
Yeah,
want to
sure.
join in. First, I'll do a little introduction. May konting lecture lang at the start and then mag-activity tayong tatlo and anybody else who wants to join in. Um, Before this, so we did this little workshop, right? So little pre-work before the workshop. And I'd like to ask this as well to the participants, yung mga nanonood sa atin. And then add it in the comments na lang. Number one, what about your personal situation in the quarantine, do you want to change? That's question number one. Question number two, what is the last thing, the most recent thing that you've learned? And question number three, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I think I spent too much time playing games and watching the news. So thank you kay MK. At ano, meron akong project, meron ako specific deadline na kailangan ma-meet.
Right, right.
So, right? Pag walang deadline, ang hirap eh. So thank you for getting me out of that. The most recent thing is using Mural and then doing web workshops. Lastly, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I hope I'm still teaching entrepreneurship and innovation, um, pero at scale, kumbaga. Um, how that scale will happen, I don't know yet.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then kanina, so this tool Mural, I asked CMK as well. Um, what do you call this? I asked MK to fill up the same thing, answer the same questions. So, sleeping patterns.
Yeah. Medyo napuyat ako ng konti kakakay-drama.
All right. And then, what's the most recent thing you've learned? Business continuity.
Right.
Did you have one, or did you have to make one really quickly?
We have to make one.
MK. Wala si MK. Or ako ba yung nawala?
I'm still here.
Ayan. Okay. Did you have a business continuity plan before the
Wala pa.
quarantine?
Wala
So
pa.
biglaan kayong gumawa ng business
Yeah.
continuity plan.
Na-realize namin siya
Alright.
ngayon pa lang na it's possible pala na ganito, mag-community quarantine and may possibility na mag-lockdown because Laguna naka-lockdown na sila. So, yeah. So,
Right.
ang dami palang pwedeng mangyari and I hope hindi siya maging worst. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then 5 years CEO of Fhmoms with bigger reach and better programs for Filipino moms. I love it. All right. And then si Christine naman. And yan, I would like to start working out.
Yeah.
The value of a backup plan.
In all aspects.
And the last part. VA trainer for Fhmoms. All right. With an apprenticeship platform for trainees. Okay. Sige. Let's move on to the next portion na. So I told you already about a little bit about my story. I had actually before ako naging founder, I was a training coordinator sa HSBC. Produkto ako ng BPO industry, tapos nung naging startup founder ako, medyo naging produkto din ako ng mga programs nila. So very thankful for a lot of government programs. And then now I teach entrepreneurship, I teach innovation, I teach in college, nagvo-volunteer din kami minsan sa mga probinsya or in Visayas and Mindanao. And then, yun, startup PH training talaga yung main focus. Real quickly lang, like just setting expectations, I mag-load. But these are my values. Number one is gratitude. So you'll find me saying it all the time. Like, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that. Transparency. Important to mention na pag nagkamali kayo or nagkamali ka, ituturo ko sa'yo. Like, yep, mali yan, right? Do this, it's this way. Okay lang yan. It's okay to make mistakes because that allows me to show you how it's done right. And then that's where you will learn. So I think it's a value for me. Kung teammate mo ako, makukulitan ka sa akin for sure. Kasi, bawat may gawin ka, uy, alam mo, pwede mo pang gawin, ganito, ganito, ganito. Right, but I think as a facilitator, what do you call this? Superpower ko yun. I am, well, a year and a half married, no kids yet, but these are our kids, Bogart and Junjun. We teach Agile, we teach design thinking, we teach lean startups. Essentially, what we want to help people is to test their ideas rapidly without costing a lot of money. Hindi naman kailangan sa unang araw pa lang pag may naisip ka, bigla ka nang gagawa ng app, di ba? Or spend millions, right? You need to prototype. And before you actually build a prototype, you first need to understand. So we have different topics and different workshops for that, depending on what you need. We've had the opportunity to present and to teach in a whole bunch of organizations, teachers, students, government employees, corporate innovators, telco, and you name it. We've been in that industry. Um, Most industries, anyway, I'd like to think. So, one thing I want to point out here is actually maraming tao sa gobyerno ang gustong mag-innovate and wants to do better in how they service their clients, kumaga, us the citizens. So, um, something worth noting. So for today, our learning objective number 1 is to wait a little bit. Our learning objective number 1 is to essentially have an understanding of our strengths and our strengths and our challenges, and then have an understanding as well of what we can control and what we cannot control. And then lastly, dun sa mga what we can control, we're going to clearly understand ano ba talaga yung pwede natin gawin, what's the next clear actionable step so that we can find our way out of our crises. Personally, for me, my objectives are, I mentioned this earlier as well, I wanted to learn how to run web workshops. I wanted to learn how to do this whole interactive thing. I want to help, obviously, as well. And, create content in the process that will help more people. Some house rules para sa mga sumasali po. At may mga nakikita naman ako comment. Hello, everyone. Number 1, at least for MK and for Christine. So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to show the audience how to run a brainstorming session, right? Mm-hmm. And for a brainstorming session to succeed, all the participants, they need to be present. They need to be paying attention, no distractions. Alam ko mahirap yan, lalo na kung online tayo. Kasi, all right. Lalo na kung mahirap kung online. So ideally, turn off everything that you don't need, right? Kung mural lang tapos Zoom, dapat yung dalawa lang yung nakabukas. Hindi na nakabukas yung Messenger or anything else. Also, practice radical collaboration. That means don't, kumaga, hindi si bossing lang yung may pinakamagandang ideas. Pantay-pantay lahat tayo when we do a brainstorming sessions. Which brings me to the next point, all ideas are valid. Walang kontrahan, walang tawanan ng idea. Unless talaga nagpapatawa ka, then pwedeng tawanan. Right? Be open-minded, and lastly, have fun. So these are the house rules on how we can be successful in brainstorming, how we can be successful in design thinking. Oops, sorry. So what is design thinking? So design thinking, essentially, it's a philosophy, it's a mindset that prescribes before, kasi typically, back in the old days, when we build something, when we have an idea, ang una natin gagawin, we will build it agad. Diba? So, these days, because of technology, we don't need to build and launch a product to learn and figure out kung ano ba talagang kailangan ng customers natin. We can do other things so that we can learn. So essentially, design thinking prescribes, before you go invest on something or build something, first learn. First begin by understanding. So that's number 1. Begin by understanding is really that mindset. It's also a framework. So how is it a framework? Essentially, begin by understanding. Una, empathy. We need to begin with, di ba yung empathy is, ano yan? Putting yourself in the shoe of others. Yun yung empathy, right? It also means Kumbaga dapat nararamdaman mo kung ano yung nararamdaman ng iba. I guess in Tagalog. You absorb all of that, you can observe, you can immerse yourself, you can do a lot of things. And then after you collect all that information, when you're empathizing, the next step is we'll define ano ba yung issue talaga. What's the main biggest problem that we need to solve? And then once we have that understanding, the next is generate a whole bunch of ideas, create a prototype, and then test it. Within the next siguro hour, magagawa natin yan. I'm gonna skip this, but essentially, if you want, kasi right now, brainstorming lang tayo, di ba? But if you want to use design thinking essentially to create products, for example, you're building an app or you want to transform your business process from what was, a hybrid physical and digital, naging all digital, for example, then you can do a design sprint. Or if you want to build a website, product development as well as service creation, you can use a design sprint. It allows you to go from idea to user tested prototype in 4 or 5 days. But don't worry about that for today. This is what I want all participants to be focusing on, which is this thing called divergent and convergent thinking. Nag-brainstorming session na ba kayo before? Tapos, nag-brainstorming session na ba kayo before? Tapos, walang nangyari. Nagdebate lang kayo ng nagdebate. 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Tapos nag-away lang kayo ng nag-away. That happens, and this is the solution to that problem. So how do we do this? Like, how do we brainstorm effectively? The philosophy is essentially when we're this thing called divergent thinking and convergent thinking. When we're doing divergent thinking, essentially what this means is tanggap lang tayo ng tanggap, right? Or idea. Padamihan ng ideas, create options. And then when we're done coming up with all these ideas, so that's what we do. When we come up with ideas, we just come up with ideas. We don't even edit or comment or ask questions. We just paramihan. Quantity is key. After that, when you're done with that, the next step is you do convergent thinking, which means of all the ideas collected, we start now using logic. Yung divergent thinking, creative side natin yan. That's the right side of the brain. Right? Yung convergent thinking naman, that's the left side of the brain. We're using logic. And essentially for the next hour, what we're going to do is a series of divergent and convergent thinking activities. Cool?
Yes.
Good. All right. Good evening, Princess, and hello, Grace. And everybody else that's watching. So, here's the challenge na naisip ko for today. How might we help members or Fhmommers? What do you call ano ba?
Mommies.
What mommies? How might we help mommies and others during the lockdown? So medyo broad pa yung challenge, di ba? And then from there we're going to do activities so that we have starting with understanding, and then it will end with we have a list of steps that we can take to resolve that challenge. So this is called, yung workshop mismo, it's called the Lightning Decision Jam. And what we're using is a tool called Mural. So first, before we start, I'm going to make sure all items are locked. Okay. So for this workshop, ang objective natin is to have to identify, number 1, what are our top challenges? Number 2 is ano yung how might we statement natin, ano yung opportunity, and then number 3, ideas. Right? Ideas and actions. So the Lightning Decision Jam was not created by me. It was created by AJ and Smart. So ika nga, CTTO, credit to the owner. But they gave this away for free because they're awesome people. And they want more people to do a Lightning Decision Jam. Can I, wait lang
Natatakot ako
I
magalaw.
have, oh nga, wait, I need to lock everything. Medyo mabagal
Nagagalaw.
lang. Oo nga. Sorry about that.
Maandar
One
yung
moment.
barko.
All right, hold on. Lock.
Nahuhuli ko
Right-click.
sila yung nakakagalaw.
Di ba naka-lock na lahat?
Ayan,
Gumagalaw pa ba
nakalock
yun?
naman na lahat. May editable access kasi ako kaya para nagagalaw ko.
Right. Yeah,
Sige.
I need to figure that
Ingatan ko
out.
na lang siya hindi magalaw.
Yep. Click yung mouse mo and then you drag to move. You can also use this button here. This is move mode. So, hindi natin yung move mode. All right. Oop. So essentially, first thing we're going to do is begin by understanding, diba? So, first, I want to understand yung for the active participants. Where are we? So, what are the strengths of your team? You know what? I'm gonna remove the boat.
Yeah, let's just remove the boat.
Nag-fail tong boat na to. Or wait, maybe I can right-click and
There, I deleted it.
all right. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Sa mga nanonood, marami pong salamat sa inyong mga pagpasyensa. Medyo mabagal ang paggalaw namin. All right. So, game. So, I'm gonna give you guys 3 minutes, as many ideas as possible about ano ba yung, saan kayo magaling? Saan magaling ang Fhmoms?
So sa mga viewers natin, maybe you can help us by answering in the comment section na lang muna, and we'll be the
Yeah.
one, Christine and I will be the one to add it sa mga sticky notes na nasa mural.
Perfect.
So please answer this question. What are your teams?
What is
Strength?
this? Ano yung strength ni Fhmoms?
Yeah. So for sure, alam niyo
Right.
naman yan, aside from Christine and I. So baka may mga mamiss kami. But sige, Christine, pwede na tayo maglagay dito sabay.
Sige, game. I started the timer
ng-
as well.
Ilang, 2 minutes lang ba ito? 3 minutes lang pala to.
3 minutes. Pwede tayo mag-extend, don't worry.
So ano naman to,
Sige,
no?
go.
Fhmoms in general, not just during this lockdown, like
Yeah,
Fhmoms.
Fhmoms, the organization.
Ah,
Or pwede rin the Facebook group and whatever that whole ecosystem is, right? Ano ang strength? So it's good to also add some context. For example, engagement. Does that mean high engagement level of participants or of the employees, of the founder, or during ganito ganyan? You can add like kumaga
okay,
basta
parang
magkasya ng
konti.
konti sa post-it. May konting context. If you can imagine writing on a post-it using a marker. Mga ganong klaseng amount of text. Yan, cooperative members. Ako magdadagdag din ako. Oops, I'm in move mode.
Saan ka? Lagay ka dito mga effective winners. Ay, meron na pala yung expert. Para hindi na maulit-ulit.
Sige, okay lang. Sulat ka lang ng sulat.
Okay lang.
Yeah! Ano
Time's up
yan?
na ba?
No, not yet. 1 minute 14.
Tingnan ko sa comments. Baka meron. Kailangan openness
Yeah,
to feedback and sige, gusto ko 'to. Kopyahin ko na 'to mamaya, openness to feedback.
go. Alam
Wala
mo
na
yung
akong
final.
maisip.
1 minute
Okay
to
na.
go. Yung final
And
pitch, maganda
input
yan.
from members. Oo nga, no?
Yan, sinulat ko na siya final pitch.
What else? Use of technology, follower base.
Ito, reach. Thank you, Grace.
Use of technology. Gusto ko yan.
Awesome.
Follower base.
Meron na dito, cooperative members. All right. You know what? Strengths ni Ren is e-learning. Right?
Yeah.
You do a lot of e-learning. Like, that's your core product.
E-learning.
Time's up.
Okay.
You wanna add a few more?
Sige, okay lang. Naka-stress.
Sige.
Sorry, nakikita niyo ba inuusog ko yung mga sticky notes?
parang may nakita mo tapos hindi ko na makita.
Ako yung nag-aayos eh.
That's okay. You can
So
select all of it. Control, di ba? And then select all.
right.
Or,
Tapos pwede mo siya
and
i-copy
then,
lang.
meron siyang grid mode pag ni-right-click mo. Pag sasama-samahin niya na naka-grid na.
Yeah. This is fun. Okay.
All right. So, the next is, what are your goals for Fhmoms? I'm gonna rephrase this na lang. Hindi what are your goals for Fhmoms? Pero like, as an Fhmom, member of the community, what are your goals? Right? So, you guys have ano naman, di ba? May experience kayo working with them. You kind of understand kung ano yung goals nila.
Right. So goals
parang,
ko ng mga members.
Oo, kasi doon mo sila gustong tulungan. Right?
Right.
Sige, so I'm gonna give you guys 3 minutes again.
Okay.
Cool. Medyo nagda-drag ng konti yung computer ko kasi syempre kung kailan tayo live. Ayan, 3 minutes.
Skills. Ayaw nga nagda-drag na siya. And so sa mga nanonood ngayon, maybe you can help us naman for your second question. What are your goals as a member of Fhmoms? So either you wanted to get a job, an online job maybe, or I don't know, learn new skills, just like what I wrote here. Learn new skills. Ano pa ba?
Sorry, late ko nagawa yung timer. 2 minutes. Si Christine as well. By the way, don't edit anything. Like, kung ano lang yung maisip nyo, yun yung sulat nyo agad. Like, it doesn't need to be good. It doesn't need to be, kumaga, quantity over quality.
Okay.
Right? Tapos later on, kumaga, ano muna tayo, practice tayo of coming up with ideas and just really writing and writing and writing. One minute to go. Nag-log out ako sa mural. We'll talk about that later. Do that later as well. Ayun, no, meron sa comments. Learn and apply, expand my services with the new learnings to have clients, maybe have a new niche. Awesome.
Mm, ano pa ba?
Meron sa comments yung, ano, goals.
Yeah, na-add ko na.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
What else? We're
All right.
10 seconds.
Ano ba mga, so expand my services, meron ba dito mga start my own business or
Agency. My
agencies? All
own
right.
digital agency.
Okay.
There, we're good.
Okay. Cool. I'm gonna move you now to sa problems naman ngayon and challenges. So first we're going to start with just problems and challenges.
This is for the moms
And
pa rin, no? Like, their challenges.
how do you want it ba? Actually, I was thinking about that nga eh. Pwede kasing initially I was thinking of Fhmoms, but then again, pwede ring yung mother, the member.
Pwede rin naman yung mga mothers para for
Parang
them.
yung solution will be going to.
Right.
Sige, so essentially the question here on number 2 is what are all the challenges, what are all the issues and the problems that our mothers are facing now with the quarantine? So from small mundane problems, makulit ang mga bata, to all the way to deep existential, ako ba talaga ang tamang, I don't know what it income, di ba? Cleanliness, everything and anything. All the potential problems. Christine, ikaw din, ha?
Down, clients ending their contract.
Yung.
Clients limiting the number of hours.
Meron ba mga clients na hindi nakapagbayad?
Clients, yep.
To cancel the project.
Yeah, ending contracts.
Don't
Don't pay.
Ano pa mga challenges dun sa comments? Claudine Antonio said, job security. Baka mawalan ng trabaho. Hindi pa nawawalan, parang gano'n. Baka tanggalin.
Kasama siya sa problem.
Alright, sige, go. Anybody else in the comments? Is Grace still there?
Acquired, wanted to learn, have a job right away. Ito yung, okay na yan yung kanya.
Yung like, kung wala silang trabaho, what happens?
Kapag walang work, walang income. So, no income.
Are they in threat of or are the mothers like, I don't know, hindi makapag-aral si anak or kailangan
or lumipat? Kasama siya.
Are those issues na,
access to, wait lang. Okay.
Alright. Lack of confidence. I love it.
Di naman siguro mag-stop yung marami naman ng mga free na Don't think mag-stop sila sa school. But, ngayon may lockdown. Sige.
No, just put it there. Don't remove things.
Hindi ko maisip yung tamang word.
Don't try to edit. Remember, we're
ganun ba?
divergent thinking to eh.
Ang hirap naman
So,
ito.
tira lang ng tira. Ano yung nakasulat kanina?
Threat for the kids to
Kids.
stop
Ayun.
going to school. Ayan, sige na nga.
Yeah.
Ano pa ba? Ay,
Challenges in time management. Ano ibig sabihin nun?
Since nasa
Walang
bahay
oras.
lahat ng kids, so still don't have time to learn or kasi
Right.
marami daw inaasikaso sa bahay, mas maraming inaasikaso. So,
Right. Okay. I'd rewrite it that way versus just time management. Or maybe write another post-it na lang. Na yun nga, ang daming ginagawa dahil lahat nasa bahay.
ayan. Okay na ako. Tapos na yung timer natin.
Oo nga pala, sorry. Alright. Yung last na lang, Christine, can you write that? Yung walang oras kasi ang daming ginagawa sa bahay. Or no time. Yan. Okay. Are there any other problems from the comments? Maybe have an FH singles. Sige, hindi counted yun.
Dating ba ito?
All right. So what I'm going to do now is, hold on. One moment.
May nag-comment si Mami Rosemary, food is not enough daw. So, I guess may...
Sige, i-add mo.
I-add ko yan. Food supply is not enough. There. Okay.
All right. So what I'm going to do, all of these ideas, we are going to move it. Nag-blur yung screen ko dun sa ano. One moment.
Nag-aano siya, naaayos siya after. Maya-maya nang, after a few seconds. Medyo matagal. Maybe because of the internet.
Right.
Sa akin na lang siguro.
Sige,
Can I
let's-
try na ako mag-share?
Sige, go.
Sige. There. Here, can you see my
And
screen
then
now?
sorry, can you still add one more?
Wait
sige
lang.
lang.
Oh,
Tama
Yan.
ba? Internet.
pati rin
dahil
sa'yo.
pala,
Makikita
sorry.
mo ba sa'yo? Ayan na yung screen ko. Nakikita niyo ba screen ko?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ano nangyari? Bakit dumami na yung ano
I'm
natin?
sorry. Biglang dumami. Na-copy yata siya.
Nakopy lahat.
No, ilalagay ko
Oo.
kasi siya dito sa uncategorized.
Sige, delete ko na lang.
Doon.
Sorry.
Okay lang.
All right.
Here.
Sige. So what we want to do now, the next step, so natanggal na yung mga duplicates, no? The next step now is to take those ideas, those problems, and then we start categorizing them on the right. So
Right.
essentially, you take one post-it, tapos, syempre, wala pang category, di ba? So kung ano man yung post-it na una mong kinuha, doon yun siya sa unang category. And then you
Okay.
get another post-it. Magkapareho ba sila ng naunang post-it? If yes, then it belongs to the same category. If not, then you move it to another category. And then so on and so forth until all of the post-its are categorized. Ang tawag dyan sa design thinking, affinity mapping. In Tagalog, pagsamasamahin ang pare-pareho.
Okay, sige. Let's start na. This one
Sige,
muna.
go.
Clients ending their
Ah,
contract. Tapos, lalagyan ko na ba ng category?
wag mo na. Lagay mo na yung mga kapareho niya.
Clients limiting the number of hours. I guess kapareho to. Clients
Correct.
that won't pay. Job security, I guess, kasama. No income, kasama ba siya? I'm not sure. No
That's
income.
okay. Pwede mong
Um,
gawin yung,
parang okay.
ano yun, yung isa kasi, totally mawawalan sila, di ba? Tapos yung isa mababawasan ng kita. So you
Oo.
can,
Yeah.
like that could be two categories,
Etong clients who don't pay.
for
Tama ba?
example. Pwede mo na palang sulatan yung ano, yung category name. Sorry. Pwede, some people prefer na gano'n, yung mag-categories muna tayo, tapos maglagay tayo sa loob nun. Pwede rin
Mhm.
naman gano'n. Yung iba naman, pagsamasamahin muna natin, and then we categorize it. And then we name the category.
O, sige. Pwede ba natin siya i-categorize na, let's say, kung income related siya, pwede ba yun?
Ayun, yeah,
Or
income and
technology,
employment, parang gano'n.
employment, employment na lang.
Alright.
For income.
Pwede rin iba yung income, pwede rin iba yung employment, di ba? Yung clients who don't pay, yun yung income.
Mhm.
Ito,
Tapos,
ending contract, limiting number of hours, job security, yan, employment.
ano tong sa slow internet connection? Di ba yan technology or something?
Pwede. Or pwede rin internet, ang isang kategorya.
Itong food supply. Palayin natin. No time to learn new skills. Ay, wait lang. Hirap pa. Time management, tsaka yung no time to learn new skills. Anxiety.
Pwede yung mga feelings.
I think
Pwede,
pasok pa to sa feelings. Ito, food supply. Itong food supply, tsaka itong internet connection, feeling ko somewhat ano sila, related. Kasi, di ba, sobrang daming
pwede,
tao, tapos
So,
yung
pwede,
internet
correct.
bumabagal, tapos yung food supply din, ganun din, parang sa
Hindi
sobrang
ba yung food,
time
di ba yung food supply income related? No money, no food.
is not enough. Pwede rin.
Parang ganun.
Paano pag may dalawa siyang category na pwede pag-fallan? Okay lang.
That's fine. Oo.
No time to
Eh,
learn new skills. Ito. Ito yata
yeah,
tayo.
pwede.
Tech. Ito
Sama ba
yata.
yung lack of confidence? Pwede rin din sa feelings.
Ayan. Okay
Pwede
na ata.
naman, yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
Hindi ba ito na, parang naha-highlight? Gusto ko sana i-move eh. Pero wag na. Ang OC?
Control, pindutin mo control, tapos
Okay.
pwedeng mong mag-select ng isa-isa.
Ayun pala.
Yan.
Tapos, ay,
And then move.
ayun. Okay
Yan.
na.
Alright.
Okay.
Next step. So, may problems na tayo, di ba? Now we need to, kasi the theory or the philosophy here, we cannot solve all problems. So let's
Right.
only solve the most important ones muna. Let's figure out what are the most pressing ones. So, how do we do that? Typically, in an unstructured session, kanya-kanyang, alam mo yun, kanya-kanyang, dapat ganito gawin natin. Tapos may kukontra, tapos hindi, dapat ganito. Tapos magkukontrahan hanggang sa wala nang nangyari. Right?
Mhm.
So, in design thinking, and essentially if you want brainstorming activities to be more efficient, what you want to do is you want to vote. And then yung mga top voted items, yun na lang yung pag-uusapan natin.
Okay.
Hindi yung lahat pag-uusapan pagdedebatehan.
Okay.
So, I'm starting a voting session. Ipagpumanhin niyo po.
Ayan. Sunik ko na yung begin voting na.
Oh, very nice.
If they wanted to try this mural application for their teams or for their clients, or kung personal nila maybe with their husband, I don't know. It's the mural na app is for free, right? Pero meron rin siyang paid na
There's a
version
90-day.
There's a 90-day na free trial. And then meron rin akong nakita na free for universities and their students.
Yes.
So,
for education, may
for education. And then yung pang enterprise, which is pang employees na and large team, yon, meron siyang payment. So what we're using is a free account.
Yep, kaka-sign up ko pa lang. Okay, so game, voting time. Nakita niyo ba kung paano bumoto?
I can see how do I vote? Where do I go?
So tap on the post-it, dun sa problem, once, to vote on it.
Oh my God, ang dami ko na nalagay.
And then shift tap. No, shift click.
Okay, shift, tas click. Okay, thank you.
Para
so
mawala.
mag-vote ako ng so i-click ko lang yung stick.
Ano yung, what problems do you want to focus on or to prioritize?
Sige. So taga one vote, pwede rin two.
Correct. Pwede mo i-distribute yung votes mo. You can vote multiple times on one particular thing. Or what do you call this? Pwedeng 2-2-1 kasi 5 votes, di ba? Pwedeng 3-2, pwedeng 5 tagi-isa, or gusto mo lahat dun sa isang problema. Ito talaga yung pinaka-problema. Then. Yan.
Hanggang 3 lang, right? So I'm good.
5 votes.
Hanggang 5 ba? Christine, you may vote now. Ba't parang hanggang 3 lang sa akin? You have 0 votes left.
3 votes ba yung lagay ko?
I guess.
Sorry, I thought it was 5.
Okay. Okay na yung sa 3. Si Christine na lang. Christine, can you vote?
I'm voting na. I only have 1 vote left. Wait lang.
Di ko nakikita pa. Are you sure?
Click mo dun sa top yung 3 people are voting. Yan, you have 1 vote left. Si MK, 2 votes. Diba?
Pero hindi ko makita yung na
one
nag-vote
vote
siya dito sa... Hindi ko nakikita yung votes niya.
Hindi mo makikita talaga. Anonymous yung voting.
Ganun ba? Oh my God.
So hindi rin yung nakikita yung boto mo. Actually, in live workshops, what we do is bawal bumoto ng... hindi na uuna yung boss bumoto. Kailangan yung most junior muna. Kasi pag si boss yung bumoto, sunura na yan, syempre. Ayaw mong kumontra kay bossing eh. Right? But what you want to do is you want the best ideas to come out and you want people to think for themselves. So you remove that factor. So pag digital, yon totally anonymous. Pwedeng, sige, sabay-sabay kayong bumoto. Hindi naman alam ng mga iba kung ano yung binoto mo.
Okay.
So there. Cool. So MK, you have 2 more votes left.
Wala na. Okay na. 3 na to.
5 yung votes. So you have 2 more.
Yes, kuman.
Bakit
You see
ganun?
on your
Ay, parang
screen, it
0
says,
votes left na nga siya.
Hanggang
how is
tatlo
the
lang.
voter? Hold on. So you're voted? Sige, well, let's end this. So you have 0 votes there. Tama
Yep.
ba?
0
0
votes.
votes there. Weird. Anyway, all right. I apologize for that. End voting session. End session for everyone. And now the winners are number 1 at 3 votes.
Mm-hmm.
No income, no time to learn new skills due to mommy issues, mommy duties. And then 2 votes, food supply is not enough, employment, unique voters.
Mm-hmm.
And then mga 1 vote. Cool. All right. So we'll focus on no income, no time to learn new skills, and food supply is not enough. Okay ba yan?
Okay.
All right.
Should I drag the
Cool.
sticky note? No.
Yes, madam. Ilagay mo siya doon sa number 5.
Which one? Oh,
Prioritize. Ay, sorry.
yeah.
Number 4 pa pala tayo.
Where's number 4? Here.
Prioritize problems.
This one, and then this one, and then this one. Tama ba? Food supply is not enough, or at this, yeah. Okay. Ayan. Ayan. So here's our top 3. Oh, kailangan ko na ba ilagay sa low, priority, and high?
So here's what we're going to do with that. See, hold on. Actually, kasi tatlo lang tayo, di ba?
Mm-mm.
Typically kasi kung madami tayong participant. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get 1 post-it. For example, yung ano yung nasa leftmost? No income, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, and then, ang gagawin ng mga tao is ilalapit nila yung cursor kung saan nila sa tingin yun dapat. Low, mid, or high priority.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, I'm gonna pick up no income. Wait, sorry, nagalaw ko.
No income to where? Oh,
So Christine, sa tingin mo, saan dapat yung no income na yan? High priority or low? Put your cursor
oh my God.
doon.
Ay,
No,
sorry.
dun sa graph, low, mid, or high. Saan sa tingin mo? Nasa very high priority ba yan?
Okay, sorry.
Yung cursor mo lang.
Yeah. Bakit
You see where my
ayaw?
cursor is? You don't need to drag anything, ah.
I don't need. Okay.
You just need to place your cursor where you think the priority level is for no income.
Can you see
Okay,
my
sure.
cursor?
Feeling ko
Ha?
high yung no income.
Ayun nga. So, kanya-kanyang decide yan. Nasa priority level ba yan? So, leave your cursor there. Asan yung mga cursor ng iba? So, igalaw-galaw niyo yung cursor para makita ng mga tao. Right? So, there. So, therefore, itong post-it na to, pupunta doon sa level na yon. Doon sa bar na yon. So, alam natin kung ano yung high priority. So, MK, if you can move the no income post-it dun sa high.
Excuse me. Hindi ko siya maklik.
Oo nga, hindi ko rin maklik.
Gawan ko na lang ng bago.
Okay. Very nice. All right. And then next, no time to learn new skills. Nasa low, mid, or high ba yan?
Siguro low lang kasi parang
Low
mas
lang.
Ano,
mataas na yung food supply.
don't announce it. Sorry. Dapat gamitin niyo yung cursor niyo.
Ganun ba? Nagre-recite na ako, boss na boss.
Kasi kasi once na nagsalita tayo, magsisimula yung debate eh. Right? So essentially the beauty of this is we're able to make decisions without having to debate.
Okay.
So the fundamentally what we're doing is parang doing several techniques in which we're able to make decisions without debate. Kanina nag-voting tayo, di ba? And then categorization. And then now, prioritization. And vote, yeah. So, sorry, coming back to this. No time to learn new skills. Nasaan tayo dito? Ako, yan. Saan kayo? Nasa very low. Tapos ako sa may gitna ng mid at saka ng low, di ba? So, ilagay natin dun sa gitna.
Here.
Yeah. Konti pa. Kasi dun ako eh, di ba?
Ito.
Alright.
This is for
No time to learn skills. All right. And then, next, food supply is not enough. As in kay Christine, hindi ko nakikita. Yan. Oh, so, pareho.
Ano ba dyan? Hindi na dyan. Dyan lang yan. Ganyan.
here, banda.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Cool. So now we know what our top problems are. What are the problems that as a group we want to be paying attention to, di ba? So yun yung top 3 dun sa taas. But at the same time, itong top 3 problems na to, ano ba talaga yung pinaka-importante? Right? So kahit na mas mataas yung vote ni no time to learn new skills, from a priority standpoint, si food supply pa rin and no income.
Right. Na ano
So,
siya, parang na, medyo napag-iisipan mo pa.
kasi yung vote parang konti dito, konti dyan, ganyan lang, parang ito rin. And then, medyo kailangan mo pang pag-isipan ng konti.
Okay.
All right. So, let's take this thing called reframing. So, moving on to step 5. Reframing problems as challenges. So, for example, ang problem dito na may example, di ba? I have no idea what's happening on Project X. Pag ni-reframe mo yun, how might we make sure everyone stays in the loop with all running projects? So essentially, what we're using is this tool or this technique called how might we statements. And it always starts this way. HMW, short for how might we, and then blah, 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 blah. Right? What how might we statements does is it allows you to turn problems into opportunities. So, kunwari, ano yung ano natin? Problem natin kanina. No income, di ba?
No income.
Mhm.
Sige, MK, ikaw na lang.
Here.
Can you put it under the example?
No income. And then here,
Sige,
How
isa muna. Yung no income muna.
here, sa baba.
All right. So how do you turn this into an opportunity? So how might we statements? Essentially, it allows people to, number one, turn that problem into an opportunity. And then also number 2, ito yung starting point natin later on when we do brainstorming sessions.
Mhm.
So, for example, no income, di ba? Pwedeng, how might we provide for a temporary or temporary financial support,
Yeah.
Pwede.
right? Or, so maraming pwede yan, right? So
Isa lang yung ilalagay dito. Or pwedeng isa
isa
pa.
na yung ending. So what I'm gonna give you guys now, medyo mahirap to ng konti, I'll give you guys 5 minutes. Yung itong no income, pabayaan muna natin yung no time to learn new skills. No income at saka no, ano yan?
No
Food
food
supply.
supply.
Gawan natin siya ng how might we statements.
Okay.
Cool?
Okay. Well,
I will give you guys 5 minutes.
okay. So,
And
no,
then I'm gonna ask, sorry, go ahead.
gagawa pa ako ng isa pa
Uh-uh,
for no food supply.
correct.
Okay. So, dalawa. Dalawa rin yung how might we.
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry, yung how might we, pwede ni pandamihan. There might be a better way to reframe that challenge.
Okay, sige. How might we provide a temporary financial support? How might we provide online job opportunities? Diba yun?
Pwede. So divergent thinking ulit tayo ngayon. There are no bad ideas.
Oh, Christine, any ideas?
So Christine. Also,
You
for
know,
the people
income, yeah,
still
and the
watching,
food supply, no.
how
Yeah,
do we
but
convert this?
ano yun? Sorry, Christine. How might we?
Ay, ikaw na lang ba? Sorry.
Sige, pwede ikaw.
What did you think? Okay. Ayun, okay.
So essentially, how do you come up with a how might we statement? Is you take a problem and then may isip kang solution, di ba? Wag mo na yun ang gawin mong how might we statement. You back up a little bit so that you parang you identify the solution category. For example, online job opportunities, medyo solution category yun, di ba?
Yeah.
Temporary financial support. Hindi mo naman sinabing how might we give them money. Kasi yun eh, kung give them money, right? Baka pwedeng financial support, pwedeng loan, pwedeng hulugan, pwedeng whatever, sangla, part-time jobs or whatever.
I guess we're good.
All right. Christine, wala na?
Yep, okay na.
Ika na? In that case, I shall now call for another voting session. Pero this time, 3 votes lang talaga.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hold on. Start voting sessions. Stop how
Patayin
much.
ko po na yung ano ko. Magvo-vote na, no? Dito
Yep.
sa mga how might we statements. Tama ba?
Correct.
Okay.
Hold on. Apologies for the delay. We are buffering.
Ayan. I'm done.
Nakapag-call ka na ng voting session. Perfect. So, ano yung panalo?
Ikaw yata yung may option to share the results.
One moment.
Go back, I'm sorry. I voted like 3 sa isang ano lang.
Okay lang yan.
Okay lang yun. Pwede rin bang ganun?
Ah,
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Wala
You
na.
can do that.
Naano ko na na-vote. Ay, paano nga undo shift? Okay.
Shift click.
Okay. Okay, sige. All
Okay.
good.
Ako naman. Um, okay. Everybody's done voting?
Yep.
0 votes left. End voting session. Provide online job opportunities.
Ayan.
Organize a food donations drive. Provide for a temporary. So nanalo si provide online job opportunities. Okay? So yung initial problem natin is, ano yan? No income.
Mm-hmm.
Naging opportunity, provide online job opportunities. All right, so we take that now. How might we provide online job opportunities? And then move to number
6.
6. Oops. One moment. Ngayon ko lang na-appreciate ang equipment na kailangan for for webinars.
Right. Sobrang important.
All right, so are you there?
Ikaw
Number
naman
6?
mag-share ng screen mo. Christine, can you share your screen? So I can navigate the comments.
One moment.
There.
So using that how might we statement, meron na tayong top how might we statement, di ba?
Mm-hmm.
We now spend another 5 minutes or 3 minutes. So gawin muna natin 3 minutes. All the ideas that we can provide for, ano yan? Ano yung panalong alternate?
Provide
Online job opportunities. What are all the ideas that we can provide for? How might we be able to provide our mothers, essentially, online job opportunities? Are you guys ready? And then I guess we can ask that as well to the audience.
Mm-hmm. Are we gonna drag yung provide online job opportunities to number 6 na how might
Yep.
we? Okay, sige. Go, Christine. And then itong mga pink na mga sticky notes, para saan to?
Just to help you guys out to get started. You can write on it.
With solutions, right?
Yep. So how might we provide an online job opportunities?
Kahit ano lang na ulit.
Yep. No bad ideas. I'll give you guys 3 minutes.
Okay.
It can be yung nagawa niyo na dati or hindi niyo pa nagagawa or gusto nyo gawin. Maybe it's a current service or it's not a current service. Sulat nyo lang. Ayusin ko lang yung camera ko. Okay. Talk to entrepreneurs, agencies, and company owners. Yes, sir. Give a free training about online jobs. All right. Apprenticeship program. Very nice. Online job opportunities. Huh? I was going to say training or coaching. Yeah. On preparing for interviews. Yeah. All right. 1 minute to go. I have an idea. Build a creative agency. Yes. Twenty seconds. Maybe people in the audience are also commenting. Sorry.
Yes. So to our viewers, you might want to help us identify the what's this?
How might we provide online job opportunities?
Like the steps that we can do in order to provide online job opportunities.
Yep. Mock interviews, very nice. I have an idea. Have a jobs board. Meron na ba kayong jobs board? Or a jobs Facebook group?
Wala. Meron. Pero sa alumni group. But that would be nice. Let's see.
Sige. All ideas are valid at this point.
Yep.
All right. Time is up and I need to pay attention to the timer because nalalagpasan ko siya. Okay, so alam niyo na kung ano yung next step.
Yep.
Essentially, we take these ideas and then we start categorizing them at the bottom. Number 7. Hey, sorry, not yet number 7. Sa ilalim ng number 7. Categorize the solutions naman. Or gusto niyo diretsong magbotohan na tayo? The categorization is to help ano lang eh. But since konti pa lang naman yung ideas and there's only 3 of us, we can go straight voting.
Hindi na natin ilalagay dito sa...
Effort
Ay.
impact?
Sorry.
Yung effort impact after voting.
So, voting sa... Okay.
Yung top voted lang yung i-rate natin sa effort impact.
6 pa lang pala tayo. So, can we start voting?
Yes. Right. Wait one moment. Dapat na-anticipate ko yung voting, no? Wait.
Sige, ayusin muna namin.
Baka may mga ideas na pumapasok pa dyan. How might we provide online job opportunities?
Ayan, sa mga nanonood, maybe you can comment down ano yung mga naiisip nyong ways so that we can provide more online job opportunities for our community members. Tapos i-add naman yan. Let's see.
So we'll do 5 votes.
Okay.
Whew.
Ready? Or not yet?
Getting ready, sorry. Naghihingalo na ang aking... Ayan na. Next. I'm gonna put this here.
Okay.
Lumalabas na agad sa inyo, ano?
Yep.
Yung sa akin, ano pa lang, loading. So MK, your screen is the one on live.
Yep.
So nakikita namin yung votes mo.
Okay. Yan ka na.
That's okay.
Still have one more.
Sorry, akin yata yun. That's my screen.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
No worries.
Typically, the facilitator isn't a participant, although they can naman, like what we're doing now. Begin voting pa lang ako.
I'm done.
All right. Sige, I'm voting na. Pool of VAs. Ay, sorry. Wag nang i-announce yung boto. So another tip actually is to not announce the vote kasi when you do that, when you announce your vote, you're actually influencing other people as well. And what you want to do when voting is no influencing. All right. Oh yeah, 5 votes, no? Sige. Okay. 0 votes left. And voting session. Dun, 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 dun. Loading.
There.
All right.
So
Talk to
we
entrepreneurs. Sige, go.
Votes. We have 3 votes for talk to entrepreneurs, agencies, and company owners to hire virtual assistants from Fhmoms, and then 2 votes for 3 sticky notes. Number 1 is start a profile, resume, cover letter, critique, or feedback sessions. And then start accepting applications to create a pool of VAs. And then start an apprenticeship program. Uy, this is a nice result. And then 1 vote for a few things. Make
yung
a
mga 1 vote, yung mga 1 vote typically wag niyo napansinin.
Okay.
The purpose of the vote is to quickly figure out what does the team like collectively, and then that's what we focus on. So that's really one of the real powers of divergent convergent thinking. Hindi na tayo nagdebate, di ba? Just medyo may technical issue lang ngayon. Pero if you were doing this face-to-face, you can do this really quickly. Is all ideas muna, and then you categorize, and then you vote. So there. So, etong apat ngayon, typically, ideally, 1, 2, or 3, pero parang meron ba dun sa 2 votes na gusto niyong tanggalin?
Parang
Or we'll
okay
use all
siya.
4?
Gusto ko
Sige,
siya.
we can naman.
Yung apat.
Alright. Sige, so we'll take those 4. And then,
Ito yun, di
we
ba?
can go to effort impact na. We can do rating as well, kumbaga yung prioritization.
Itong prioritization ng solutions, gagawin natin.
Oo, pero parang baduy kasi, 3 lang tayo eh. So I'm gonna jump and you know na how to do it. If there's multiple people in the team doing this brainstorming session, absolutely I recommend you do that. And then you identify ano ba yung priority. So yung nasa, in simple Tagalog, ano ba yung uunahin natin? But this is another way to do it. Kung ano yung uunahin is using this thing called effort and impact scale. So let's get one of the post-its. Ano yung number 1 kanina?
Talk to entrepreneurs, agencies, and companies.
So you start with first, let me talk to you about the scale muna, no? You start on the x-axis is effort, and then y-axis is impact. Pag effort, pinag-usapang effort, that means how much time or how much resources, how much money does it need to get that thing started and completed. And then impact naman is how much will it benefit us, the organization or the mothers, the problem we're trying to solve. How much will it impact if we're able to do it successfully, how much of an impact to the problem will it create? So yung impact measured in, kumbaga yung pinaka bottom left, 0 impact, ibig sabihin, wala naman nangyari. Kahit ginawa mo yung gusto mong gawin, wala rin nagbago. Middle, medyo may nangyari na medyo significant, di ba? And then all the way up to the top, ano yan? Transformative. Kumbaga kanwari si Fhmoms na IPO na agad. Yun, transformative yun. Yung effort naman, sorry, I forgot to tell you about effort. How do you measure effort? Pag 0 effort, dun sa bottom left, that's bukas na bukas pa lang pwede mo nang gawin. Like, I don't need anybody's approval. I don't need anybody to say anything or help me. I can do this. In the middle, siguro mga 3 months to 6 months to complete. Or a month, 2 months, depende. And then, dun sa dulo, on the rightmost, it takes about a year at least. And if you're an organization, kailangan ng MANCOM, board level kind of approval. So mahirap pa it's difficult for it to start. So let's get idea number 1, which is talk to entrepreneurs and agencies, no? How much effort, yun muna yung tanong, how much effort will that require to do? Bukas ba pwede natin simulan? Next week, next month, 2 months? How much time? And effort pala. Pag kinausap mo kasi, syempre, oras yan, di ba?
Right.
But at the same time, madali ngayon makipag-meeting sa mga tao. Basta, kasi online. Hindi yung bawat...
online siya, okay pa. Like,
diba?
then
magpapaschedule, tapos lang yan, hangouts lang yan or what.
Gawin.
So kumaga nasa bottom half siya or left half. Right? Saan dyan? Madaling-madali or medyo madali, may konting kahirapan?
Dito.
X-axis muna, effort.
Ito kasi, di ba, impactful siya eh. Pero,
effort,
right.
High.
Medyo high.
Alright. Ako, ilalagay ko sa konti sa kanan pa.
Ganito.
Na naman. Konting ano lang. Like, hindi siya sagad zero. Yan. Ganyan.
Okay.
Alright. Tapos yung next naman,
This one. Ito, I plan to do this by next week. So, nakaplan na siya.
okay. Ano ulit yan?
This is like a critic session wherein we check the resume, cover letter, and profile.
Right. So you already have the resources, naka-schedule na siya.
Yep.
And, alright. So from an effort standpoint, literally it's in your calendar na. Wala nang kailangan baguhin.
Yeah.
Okay? So nasa may 0 or 1 yan, di ba? Mas madali yan relative dun sa isa yung makipag-meeting ka.
Oo. Kasi within the ano lang to. Within the community na lang. Wala nang kailangan.
Right. And then yung impact, sa tingin mo mataas yung impact niya. Potentially transformative. Ganun ba yan?
Yep.
Alright.
So,
Sige, leave that there.
Nalito.
This one, the impact.
Impact pataas. Y-axis yung impact.
Diba ito impact. Tapos ito yung sa effort.
Yeah. Para hindi ka malito, wag mo isabay.
Na.
Mag-isipin mo muna, effort. Tapos, impact mo. And tapos, pag natapos mo na yung, na-determine mo na yung effort level, yung impact level naman.
Okay, sige.
Alright. So, leave that there. And then the third one. So, do that for the third and the fourth.
Effort.
Medyo mahirap na trabaho siya. Actually, wala pa akong idea kung paano ko siya gagawin.
So, medyo mataas ang effort niya. Effort muna. Iwan mo dun sa axis.
Effort.
Yan. Effort muna.
Diba? So,
mga dyan.
High effort. Ito high effort, di ba?
Yeah. And then next is impact. Pag nagawa mo na siya, how will it impact the challenge?
Impact design.
Mataas yung ano niya eh. Pero, kailangan ba naman siya i-compare dito sa impact ng dalawa? When you start accepting applications kasi, ready na yung mas mataas yung chance. So, parang impactful na rin naman siya. Parang pantay lang sila.
Alright. Okay. Yung isa nga lang, mas effort.
Oo.
Alright. Perfect. Sige, number 4.
Meron pa ba? Ano pa ba yung isa? Ito, start na ng presentation. Ito, matrabaho to. Super.
Okay. And then impact.
Yung impact niya, mataas din. So, pantay sila nitong dalawa.
Halos pareho lang. Alright. Ano mas mataas yung
parang mas
effort or
mataas
impact?
tong impact ng apprenticeship program kaysa dito sa accepting of ano.
Okay. Yan. So, pwede mong baba na. Yan. Pwede mong ganyan.
Yan.
Para lang makikita mo relative to the other idea. All right, perfect. So yan na yan, di ba? What you want to do first is the low effort, high impact one. Di ba? Apat yung grid mo. High impact.
Low effort, high impact. This one.
Yeah. Kasi yan, kumbaga konting udyok mo lang, marami na magandang mangyayari. Right? So that's the first thing you need to be doing. You want to be prioritizing as well. So this effort impact scale allows you to help, or it helps you understand, sige, madami tayong ideas na gustong gawin. Ano ba yung gusto nating unahin? Right? So low effort, high impact muna. Itong dalawa, yung high effort, high impact, ano yan? Project na yan. Kumbaga strategic. Medyo kailangan mong effortan. Pero kailangan din gawin. Di ba? Yung high effort, low impact, kalimutan mo na yan. Anyway, wala ka naman dyan ngayon. Tapos yung yung ano yan, low effort, low impact.
High effort.
Sorry. So high effort, high impact, wag mong gagawin yan. Sorry, high effort,
High
naligaw na ako.
effort. Tapos, low impact.
Low impact, wag mong gagawin yan. Kasi maghihirap ka lang, wala namang masyado mangyayari.
Mhm.
And then low effort, low impact, pwede mo siyang i-delegate.
Okay. Low effort, low impact. Like this one, pwede na siyang i-delegate. Okay.
Right? Or hindi ka na siyang, ano ba yung nakasulat dyan?
Talk
Or make
to
it a task.
entrepreneurs.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So, do you want to continue?
Yep.
Game pa naman ako. Sige, so pick one of those ideas. Actually, tatlo lang yung pinrepare ko dyan dun sa number 10. Make ideas actionable. Make solutions actionable. So you pick the post-it, let's say yung isang, ano yan, yung yung low effort, high impact. Yeah. Dalhin mo siya dun sa number 10. Yeah. Or copy mo na lang. Sorry, so you can leave that there. Yeah.
Okay,
Then lagay mo dyan.
no?
Yep.
And then
essentially, so if you're with your team, what you want to do is, etong number 1 idea, anong pwede natin gawin? Number 10 na tayo.
for this one lang, start a profile. Gaano ka detailed yung step 1 na ilalagay? Like,
yung pwede niyong i-check kung for a specific person.
for example, ganito, mag-start kami ng profile, resume and cover letter na critic. Ang iniisip ko, maghanap muna ng volunteers ng pwedeng mag-check. Let's say, ng grammar, ng look.
Yep.
So, mga, critics.
Pwede yan. So, number 1, look for volunteer critics. Tama?
Right.
And then, sino gagawa nun?
Ako rin. Someone from the team.
So,
ba siya?
Yeah. Well, it depends on like for example, ikaw pa lang to. Ideally kasi if you're brainstorming with your team on what you're going to be doing next. Right? And then yung team yung magvo-volunteer. Sige, ako ito gagawin ko. Ako ito gagawin ko.
Okay.
Right?
So, dyan pa lang pwede niya nang kunin yung task.
Oo. But I understand also, like, especially, medyo pareho tayong sitwasyon. You, just for this event, me, generally in life, I'm a one-man team. So, lahat ng tasks na naiisip ko, para sa akin din. Like, I brainstorm on myself. So, you can do that, or you can do it with your team, and then ideally, the team is the one that identifies the specific tasks that they will do, and then you hold them accountable for it. What's not included here is to make solutions available so number 1 is sino yung may-ari ng task? Diba? What is the task? Who is the owner? And what is the due date? Dapat nakasulat yun sa post-it.
Okay. Sige. So, let's say for example, yung isa naming team member, say si Jean, or si Ellie na lang. Si Ellie, and then deadline, ganyan. Deadline.
Yeah, just put the date and then the name. Parang mag-gets mo na kung sino man yung pangalan na nandito at kung ano man yung date, yan. Yun na yung deadline.
There. So, ganyan lang.
Yep.
And then, after write the guidelines.
Yun.
Si Ellie ulit. April, let's say, Ayan, ganyan. Tapos, create an announcement about
Alright.
the new program. Ayan,
Perfect.
MK. Okay. MK deadline April 4. Ayan, ganyan. Okay na to?
Yon. Yep. And then, next week, pag nagkita uli kayo, i-review nyo to. Were we able to do these things? Essentially.
Okay. Sige.
So, 3 things, diba? So, guaranteed yung project na yan, alam mo, gagalaw siya. At alam mo kung sino hahabulin mo. Well, from what I saw, sarili mo rin yung hahabulin mo.
Mm-mm.
So, you do that for, I would do yung low effort, low impact. Kasi yung strategic initiatives mo, yung dalawang high effort, high impact, parang kailangan pang upuan yun.
Oo.
Right?
Tagal-tagal to. So, itong dalawa yung pwede naming start like this week.
Yep.
Tama. Okay.
Siguro what you can do dun sa high effort, high impact, you can have your own, like, its own brainstorming session na ganito.
Alam mo tong ano na to, itong talk to entrepreneurs na to, mataas din yung impact pala nito eh.
Okay.
Matrabaho
Perfect.
lang. Pero mataas din. So parang feeling ko nagkamali
So
ako.
galaw mo ng konti.
Oo. Pero parang
And
mas
then
mataas pa rin to kasi pwedeng yung mga makikinig inside the group, pwede na silang magsarili na maghanap ng employers nila. And like this one kasi
Okay.
tatrabahuhin ng team. So
move that to the right. Sabi mo medyo may effort din yan, di ba?
matrabaho siya. So this one. Like
Parang
this one.
ganyan siguro. Yeah. Cool.
Ayan.
So you have a general understanding ano ba yung kailangan natin gawin, ano yung uunahin natin.
So wala na pala magtatanong na ano yung priority. Yan. Ano yung urgent. Okay. So yan, I guess we're good. Are we done? Ito na, 10 steps.
Correct.
Okay, sige.
That's that. So
I
and then
guess-
I'll have you identify the steps na lang there and the due dates.
Okay, sige.
Right? So this is actually, can you click on outline, that red, and then presentation mode?
Wait,
You see that? That's the top right.
top right. And then,
Right pa mismo.
top right. Outline, presentation.
Yeah. Yan.
Okay.
Sige, go next.
Next.
Until the end. Second to the end.
Here?
Yes. Oh, no, the other one. Go back. Hey, umalis ka ng presentation mode. Yan. Oh.
But this one?
Yeah.
Wait, how do I do it?
Go outline.
And outline.
Then presentation mode.
Oh no. This?
All right. Perfect. So, thank you very much. If you want to learn more about innovation and design thinking, feel free to join our group. Download. We also have an ebook on design thinking. startupphtraining.com/guide-to-design-thinking. We're happy to do demos as well. Next slide, please.
May isang
Oops.
slides pa? Okay, sige.
Last slide. Which is essentially, kung gusto niyo magpa-free demo na ganito, privately within your team, pwede rin naman.
Great.
MK, I'm happy to do it for your team as well.
Yeah, thank you, Carlo.
Hindi na lang natin i-broadcast. Feeling ko yun yung nagpapabagal din eh. Kung hindi siya naka-Facebook Live or naka-StreamYard. we're most likely going to be able to
Yeah, I believe
work
mas faster
faster.
natin siya magagawa. Correct. And then
Yeah.
kapag halimbawang alam rin ng mga team members how mural works. Kasi right now, di ba, we're navigating pa mural.
And
Pero
then, yeah.
kanina, nakita ko when we started, medyo mabagal pa. Pero nung nag-move forward na tayo, tawag dito, mas mabilis na siya. So, even si Christine na navigate niya na ng maayos. So, I guess,
Yeah.
yung online na workshop or design thinking na sessions will work. Yeah. Kasi na-try na rin namin.
Practice pa tayo.
Right. But, napansin ko na same lang rin yung effect. Kasi nakapag-design thinking na nakapag-design thinking session na rin kami with
Okay.
another facilitator. Ginawa namin siya na face-to-face. So, sobrang effective, nakakatawa, mind-blowing. So, etong online,
Sino nag-deliver sa inyo?
I'm not sure if you know Rock Cleo.
Yeah.
So
Well, we
Rock,
haven't met each other pero nag-uusap kami.
yeah, so super nice. So
Okay.
he also hired a virtual assistant. Actually, he hired Kristen then as her
Christine.
virtual assistant.
Oh, okay.
So super
Yeah,
interesting.
so I hope to work with them.
Yeah, halos same lang yung yung experience and then yung feel. Kakatuwa.
Yeah. So there's a whole philosophy, and it's kumaga, like I mentioned earlier, the fundamentals are the same. Whether you want to help moms find jobs, or you want to create your own new product, or transform your process, solve problems, or brainstorm with families and kids. I'm going to be doing a brainstorming session for kids as well, or for families in quarantine. Like, kung ano man yung problema nila sa family, diba? Like, find more interesting activities.
Carlo, with using
Q&A na tayo.
Oh, sorry. Ako rin may question. Kasi I find it very useful, no? Lalo na if you're doing online classes para you can have interaction. So my question is, can you have like 50 students, maybe ganun, mga 50 people join the mural?
I don't know.
Alam ko, nasa
pwede siguro, pero I guess from like, when I was doing workshops, kasi natuto ako, maliit muna yung grupo, tapos dumami. Earlier this year, I did a workshop for 300 kids doing a little bit of design thinking. So, feeling ko kaya, but you need some legit skills. Hindi ko magagawa bukas, parang ganon. Right?
So may parang subscription, hindi siya pwede na free account lang.
You're asking ba from a capacity standpoint?
Yes.
I saw the pricing for mural. So, the pricing for teams, meron siyang $12 per member per month. So, medyo, siya.
600.
Especially if it's an enterprise network na. And then, $20 naman per member per month for this.
Yeah. Tapos 90 days free. So, yun. So, I'm using it now. What do you guys recommend, itong StreamYard as your video conferencing or for...
Yeah. No, for video conferencing. So, nagzo-Zoom pa rin kami. This one for live streaming lang. So, we use...
iba.
Yeah, iba. Kasi hanggang 6 or 7 lang yata dito, I believe.
Right. Pero madali i-broadcast.
Yeah, mas maganda siya i-broadcast. But for Zoom din, sana si Zoom meron din siyang way to, similar with what Mural does. Yung para may mga sticky notes din. Kasi for Zoom yata, meron.
It's an additional feature. Parang it's a classroom. Parang virtual classroom naman sa kanila. Pero it's an additional feature. So you have to buy the
additional bayad.
Syempre medyo mahal siya. So itong mural parang na kasi $20, I think okay na. Pwede na yun.
Yeah, if you're doing like me, I plan to do a lot of remote workshops. So I think it's worth a subscription for sure.
Yeah.
Tapos yung nga yung web, so pag teleconferencing, kailangan ko rin mag-subscribe. Dahil
Let's see. We will
feeling,
let you know if we subscribe either sa Mural or sa Zoom, but we're also considering for Fhmoms na kumuha ng platform similar to this one.
nice. Okay. Yeah, but you probably don't need a lot, like one per teacher siguro, or one for
Yeah.
every few.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
All
so
right. Thank
so
you very much.
thank you so much, Carla and Christine. Even to Racy, si Racy hindi na siya siya dapat yung
All
isang
right.
makaparticipate, hindi na nakasama. But
Thank you.
thank you so much to everyone who joined us tonight. And I hope
Yeah.
na nyo rin yung mural. And then you can follow or visit Startup PH for Carla's group. And then the other one is you can also check yung Startup PH na job
Training.
and training na
Yeah.
group. Super nice. May mga nakikita ko din startups na nag-hire sila ng mga home base na virtual
Yep.
assistants or accountants maybe. So, check them out. And then, what's your personal page, Carlo? Carlo Valencia. Do you have a personal page or a
Carlo
personal?
P. Valencia. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Just lang.
yun. You can message Carlo anytime. I remember I met Carlo the first time. Nag-chat lang ako and I asked this
Yeah.
question about startup din. And then, nag-meet na kami
What did
noon.
you ask about?
I no longer remember, but I just wanted to
Right.
ask for tawag dito mentorship sana na ano kasi I saw that you're the founder of Startup PH nga and
Mhm.
maybe I could get insights. And then ang plan ko sana noon chat lang and then nakapag-meet pa tayo which was very helpful. So, nag-start pa lang
Yeah.
ako. Thank you so much Carlo for doing this.
My pleasure. I remember nung tinatanong kita when I was getting to know you, nagtanong ako sa'yo, like, bakit ako ang tinatanong mo? Dapat ako nagtatanong sa'yo kung paano mo na-achieve yan.
Thank you, Carlo. But
So,
sobrang ano na,
that's,
syempre tawag dito, hindi ko pa kasi totally no idea ako, no? And I love it nung sinampal mo sa mukha ko na ang dami na rin palang nagawa ng Fhmoms for the Filipino community, which is good. Kasi
yeah.
na-realize ko mas marami pang pwedeng gawin and marami nang nagawa. So, yeah. Thank you.
Good job. I think, you know what, actually the stuff I teach, I tell these people, the vast majority of us, we need frameworks or we need a process to figure things out and solve problems or entrepreneurship. But to some people, the successful leaders and the successful business people, it's natural in them. So when I met you, tapos sinabi mo, you told me about your attraction. I was like, wow, okay. So, wala na akong kailangan ituro sa'yo. Parang konting, konting turo lang ng konti. And then, marami ka na nagawa. You're like, oh, nga no. I remember we had a valuation question by that time.
Right.
So you're doing a lot of like, I've met a lot of other founders as well. You're doing a lot of right things, focusing on the people and really solving problems, like really helping people. A lot of startup founders kasi now are just, and I started there as well. It's not pala now, a lot of people that get into entrepreneurship and tech focus on the tech. Parang, gawa tayo ng app, gawa tayo ng platform. But it should be, hanapan natin ng trabaho yung mga moms. Ganun yung...
Yeah, that's the only... I cannot do heavy tech, so I have to do this.
Right. That was to your advantage, di ba?
Right.
All right. Sige. Thank you very much, Christine,
Thank you
for
so much.
spending the extra time. Thank you, MK, for having me.
Thank you, Carlo.
Good night, everyone. Thank you so
All right.
much.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.